Hi, this is Pete Sapadin, and I'm here to tell you about a new pad that I just got turned on to. It's called the RamPad. It's a new company in Southern California. A couple of friends of mine started it, and I really like what they're doing. They have a metal rim and a mylar head. It feels great to play on, opening up a lot of different possibilities. Edge to center playing, cross stick action. Check it out. You know, one of the things I like the most about this pad is just the fact that it has a rim. To actually have a different surface that's a little bit higher than what you're playing on, like as a rim is, and having that gap there. Just the actual physical act of moving out to a rim. When you're practicing parts that have rim parts on it or have ride parts, or you're trying to work on hitting rim shots, especially the elusive left-hand rim shot. The next best thing to just having an actual drum. There's no substituting actually having a rim there. If you got some cross-shot parts, whatever you're working with. It's just rim shots, rides, any kind of patterns. It's just, it's a great tool. Another great thing about the RamPad is you have that feel change, that tone change from the center of the head out towards the edge. Dealing with the fact that it's a little bit different tone and like all those little minor inconsistencies start sticking out when you're trying to play soft. And I think this is a great tool for working on that. Trying to keep rolls consistent. You can really hear if the lefts are sticking up. Working on your dynamics, trying to play from the edge to center. It's great. It's great. Try it. RamPad. Another great benefit of the RamPad is the fact that it uses a standard 10-inch head from any manufacturer on here, which is great. So you could try experimenting with different heads, different manufacturers. That's not a proprietary size. You can just run to any music store, put a 10 on here, and you're going to be set. You can even try a coated head and work on your brushes. It's just a straight up 10-inch head. It's beautiful. Another great benefit of the RamPad is using it as a sectional tool. You can work on things on the pad, play parts, and actually work on cleaning things that you're going to see show up later on when you put the drums on. Say you have a snare line at your high school and you've got 5 guys in the snare line. If you have 5 of these pads and everyone's lined up, you can hear the low notes. And just the fact that you can hear those, and you can hear tone from those. I can imagine 5, 6 people on this pad actually getting good work done, and that's a neat benefit of this pad, because a lot of times people are trying to practice indoors. If you get a lot of people in a small space on marching drums, the sound is just going to bounce all over the room, and it starts to be even hard to even know what you're listening for. Everyone's drumming triple diddle and you're like, your left hand, and everyone's like, what did he say, cut? But on these things, they're loud enough to play clean on, loud enough to listen to, but if you have the metronome, it doesn't have to be blasting. With something like this, it's still loud enough where you can hear it, but soft enough not to drive you crazy if you're in an indoor environment. I just think that's a great benefit of this pad. So check it out. So if I'm drumming and I'm trying to talk to somebody while I'm drumming, if you're on a drum, no one's going to hear what you're saying, but so you could just be talking about the idea of grace note space when you're playing flam accents, and I can be demonstrating while I'm talking. So I can explain to them, look, you could play your flams really open and get that really fat sound, or you could play them tighter. But a lot of people have the problem where they're playing them exactly together. So like double stops, or they go the other way in their mouths. But to be able to talk about this and demonstrate while I'm doing it, that's just a cool thing that you can't really do with a drum. It's just too loud. So that's another really cool benefit of RamPad. So RamPad, it's pretty lightweight, it's durable, and you see these gussets that they put in here to keep the strength of it, but still keeping the weight down. And this is a real metal rim, and it's got some good tension on it. And it's really no big deal. Throw it in the backpack, not too heavy. Sometimes these pads get really heavy, but it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. So check it out, RamPad. It's good stuff. I think you're gonna like it, really. And a lot of young players, when you're playing on something like this, when you're trying to get more rebound, and people will just crank and crank and crank, it's not going to translate into much of a different feel, unlike a regular drum. Like when you really crank it up, it feels so different. The advantage of this is that the pad pretty much feels the same as far as how it feels in your hands to play on, even though the pitch of the pad might come up because you give it a little crank. It's an interesting thing that makes it unique, but once you get it feeling sweet, it's just great. Another advantage to the RamPad, the fact that we're using a regular 10-inch hoop and normal lugs, is that we can attach drum trigger really easily. And that really opens up a whole lot of possibilities for this, not just as a practice tool, but as something you can use in performance. Very cool.